Ladies and gentlemen, out there in KPI land, this is Glen Carlson coming at you with another pro tip. Esther de la Cruz, based on the back of my last little video of these things that I did, which was really all about communicating to your prospects based on where they're at in the decision-making cycle. It's about empathy. It's about not selling to them before they're ready to be sold. So go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. That'll set this up. But Esther's question is, when is it okay to start talking about your product? And specifically in context, I was talking about mistakes, right? So talking about people in terms of some of the mistakes that they make that cause their problems. And then there's some of the mistakes that they make in purchasing a solution. The important point to recognize, Esther, is that there's a line in the sand that people cross, which is, am I going to fix this problem or not? So let's say there's something going on in my back garden. There's a hole, bunch of dirt, and it would be solved by a shovel. Right? So maybe I'm sitting there for a week going, do I really want to fix this hole? Like I'm in this zone of I'm aware I've got a problem, but I'm not doing anything about it. That's a very clear zone. Then there's a line I cross where it's like, today's the day I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a shovel, and I'm going to fill that hole. Bang. Now, the reason that may have happened, someone may have come in and gone, what's wrong with your garden? A kid may have fallen into it. I may have just got fed up. Straw that broke the camel's back, looking at a big hole in my garden. Whatever pushes me or your prospects to that decision-making point, that's something that you want to understand really well so you can get into that aspect of their psyche and help make that transition for them. But keep in mind, I haven't made the decision to buy your shovel yet. I've just made the decision to buy a shovel. So if I had not yet made the decision to buy a shovel and you're talking to me about all the benefits of your shovel, that's going to feel like selling. The moment that I've crossed the line and I'm now actively looking for a shovel, but I don't know what size, I don't know what length, I don't know what material is going to work, what weights, any of this sort of stuff. What are the brands that if I get that brand, it's going to snap as soon as I put it into the dirt? Because I'm not a handyman. I don't know shovels. I need to talk to someone who knows shovels. Now, when I hear from you talking to me about your shovels and about how your shovels are better than other shovels, fantastic. Now, I might come to you and I might say, look, I'm just looking around for the cheapest shovel available. Can you just give me a quote? I'm getting 3. I'm going to go with the cheapest. You might say, I'm not going to participate in that quote, but what I am going to do is send you a little PDF that I put together of the 7 buying mistakes that people make on their search for a good shovel. Because one of those buying mistakes is buying just on price. And I'm going to explain why. So let me send it through. Use that as the lens through which you evaluate your shovel purchase, whether you buy it from the guy down the street or from China or from United States or the beautiful Swiss shovels that they're making nowadays. Go for your life. We're good. I got plenty of business. If, however, by looking at the 7 mistakes document that I'm going to send you, you can't find a shovel out there in the marketplace that fits all of these criteria and those criteria turn out to be important to you, come back and talk to us. We can help. Now, that was a bit of a rant because Esther's actual question was, when is it okay to start talking about your product? It's when you know that they've made that transition in their mind. It's when you know they've crossed that line. If you don't know they've crossed that line, that mental line, yes, I'm now in the market, you don't have permission to talk about your stuff. Number of ways to set that up. So at our conferences, at the large ones, 8-hour brand accelerators, business accelerators, we invite people to a smaller session. Come to that. That's where we're going to give you 2 things. One thing is we're going to give you a lot of value. The other thing is we're going to sell you on our stuff and talk about the benefits of it. So when people get there, I can talk about it. On a webinar, I might say, guys, that was a great Q&A, great session. Thanks for all the interaction. We're going to end it here. But for those that want to stick around and understand more about what we do and how they can potentially get involved in taking the next step, I'm going to answer some questions about that and have a bit of a conversation about our products and what we do. If that's not of an interest for you, now's the time to get off the webinar. Anyone that stays on the webinar is good to go. The final thing you could do is if you're at a keynote, well, not the final, one of a million things you could do is if you're at a keynote and there's 100 people in the audience, you can say, look, there's two types of people. There's people here that have not yet made the decision to do X. Let's say it's get into social media. You haven't yet made the decision that social media is the way to go. That's great. The other group of people is you've absolutely made the decision that social media is the way to go. You're now just looking for the best supplier to help you implement. I just want to talk to that second group for a minute. For those of you that haven't made the decision yet, don't freak out. I'm not here to sell you something. I just want to have a conversation with this group of people, because if you are in the market, there are going to be some issues that you stumble across when actually getting this job done. So the simple answer to that question is once you've got permission, and it's up to you to engineer that permission.